Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. Follow me on Instagram at Perry Flips, on Facebook, Flips and Giggles, and then Flips and Giggles also on Whatnot and eBay. We have another Whatnot show, not tonight, new night. We're starting tomorrow night. So we've been doing Wednesday nights. My wife works every Wednesday, and it's easier to just do them on a different night when she's, at least off every other, you know what I mean? So I was going to wait till March to switch them, but I looked at, the few resellers who I advertise in their streams, they all have shows competing with when we're going on. So I'm basically advertising, in the people that would be coming into our show, but they're already committed to these other sellers. You know what I mean? So I switched the day to Thursday. I know I'm still competing against other sellers, but I haven't been directly marketing to their people. You know what I mean? So tomorrow's gonna be the first day, which is kind of nice to not have to do the podcast and the show the same day. So yeah, if you like the show, I got too ahead of myself, but if you like the show, follow, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification so you get alerted when the podcast comes out. It comes out usually every Wednesday at different times, but it's usually around the same time. I try to do it right around the same time every week now. Sorry, I have a giant canker sore on my lip. I fucking bit my lip the other day, and it just turned into a mean fucking canker sore. I fucking hate that shit. And now it's just in the way of talking and trying to eat and shit. I'm hoping tomorrow it gets better, but we'll see. It's it's day to day. It's a day to day injury. So yeah, show tomorrow. We're going to be doing some vintage t-shirts. It's not going to be a huge show. We don't have a ton of stuff to go through. But I'm just going to try to go through all the inventory we have on eBay. And then we also got a slot on a raid train on Friday. So if you're listening to this today, it'll be Friday. It's supposed to be 3:30 is our time, but then I saw after that it's Central Time. So I'm a little confused. So I think I have to set my time an hour in advance. So yeah, that way I'll be on time. So I had to look up what the conversion, because I'm like, what time? So 3:30 is what time? So yeah, I got to double check that to make sure I did it right, but I'm hoping that I got it right. But yeah, raid train, it's my bloody Valentine. So it's like Valentine's Day meets Halloween. I've got, my wife's like, do we even have stuff for that? I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah. We got plenty of stuff for that. So I got to go through and dig some stuff out, dig some different things out. I've got some Halloween stuff from Halloween left over. And then I also have, the fuck am I thinking? Some Valentine's Day jewelry and shit. So I've got a few things that I can do. I don't know why they're doing a Valentine's show the day before. I get it, trying to keep the theme, but also it's not, nothing's gonna arrive in time for Valentine's Day. And then on what was I gonna say? On Sunday, this last Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, they did the Mr. Beast stream. I don't know if anybody saw the Mr. Beast stream. I'm not a big Mr. Beast guy. He was too young for me. His shit came out after. I remember my nephew showing me. This was a long time ago, because my nephew's a teenager now. This was, I think, before he was a teenager. He was probably 8 or 9, and he was showing me a video of the Mr. Beast show or something on YouTube, and it was the most chaotic fucking thing, the most chaotic thing I've ever watched. I'm like, no wonder these kids are fucking spazzes now. And so yeah, he did a bunch of giveaways, it was kept limiting how many people could get in the giveaway, and so yeah, needless to say, I didn't win anything. But it was fun to watch. It was cool to see what it could be. And then afterwards, I noticed that people who were running giveaways and shit like that, obviously they're a little bit bigger streamers, Because there was one channel they were just giving away like PS5 after PS5. Um, I can barely I struggle to get $5 gift cards. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not even making enough money to justify these $5 gift cards. But we'll get, it's summer is almost here, man. It's coming. It snowed again this morning, like early morning. And now it's like 40 degrees. I'm worried it's going to completely melt one day. Like it's going to go up to like 60 and then everything's just going to melt into my fucking basement. That's what I hope doesn't happen. We got a lot of shit we got to do to our house. It's one of those houses that like you move in. When you move into a house, you don't really think about all the stuff that you have to then do. Like it doesn't hit you till you're like, oh, this is like my house. There's like multiple rooms, like if you're lucky, multiple rooms that you have to then make sure that everything's not gonna set a fire. Like there's shit that you have to just do every day. Like we don't check everything every day, obviously, but I checked like the stovetop before I go to bed because sometimes we forget. And but yeah, when you get a house, it just comes with all these fucking new things that you have to then dedicate your time to. And you just kind of, at first you're like, man, like you're trying to get as much of your me time as you can. And then you kind of realize like your me time, you get it like at the end of the day, like when my kids are done for the day, that's when I really get like time to like chill and do, play video games is what I do. Where was I going with that? But yeah, it's just when you have a house, it's like, one thing pops up after the other. And so like this house was pretty old, not like super old, but like a lot of the stuff in it was old. So our water heater needs to be replaced. And, it's like shit that you can't, if you do it all at once, it's going to cost a fucking fortune. So we're doing like one at a time and we need to redo our bathroom. Like there's a lot of shit that needs to be done. So yeah, I don't know why I was talking about that. But you get used to it, man. You get used to like when you have kids and shit, you just kind of get used to like the amount of time that you have. And then when you do have a day when you have a lot of time, you don't even know what the fuck to do with yourself. I've been really bad lately about working on eBay. I don't know why I just flipped into that, but I figured I'd talk about it. I've been really bad. I haven't listed in a couple days. Like usually I list one thing a day and I don't have a ton of inventory. I do have some things that I can list and I'm still going through those Magic the Gathering cards. I had the like thousands of Magic the Gathering cards. So I'm just going through pulling out like the hollows and then putting them into like large flat rate shipping boxes. And I'm either going to auction them off on Whatnot, like the full box, which is, I might do that for the card show. I haven't decided yet. Because those I could probably sell in person, but I don't know, how much. I don't even know what like base Magic cards go for because they're from like 2014, 15. There's some older ones that I set aside like from like the 90s. So I put those into a pile. But I don't know a ton about Magic. I've picked them up before, and I just have never been great about like knowing too much about it. I know about Pokemon. Like I don't know a ton of the rules of the game, but I know like enough about the sets and this and that. Magic is all like they have like collaborations now with like Spider-Man, and they did Final Fantasy and shit. And I don't know how that all plays into the game and the lore. So yeah, but it was a good deal, man. That was that deal that I got for $50. And the Pokemon cards alone, like the wrappers from the old Pokemon cards, are going to pay for the whole pickup. So it just takes a little while. It's not something I'm like spending a ton of time on. I just kind of do it when I have downtime. And I'm moving right through it. I'm like almost done sorting them. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now. But other than that, it's, I haven't really I got a couple of toys that I need to list. But yeah, I just finished dealing with that return. So I had those 3 returns in a row. So I talked about the first 2, I think. So the first one got, I sent it, I got it back. Definitely was tampered with, opened. Refunded half the money. They left me a negative. Sent a message, or I appealed it through eBay. They luckily took it off. Then the next return came in. and that was the one that they said that it was the condition wasn't listed in the thing, and there's multiple photos, and I put in the listing like poster has some wear from age / use. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to list if I'm putting them in the picture, you look at the description, you go, oh, okay, let me look at the pictures to see if it's too much wear for me. But people don't do that. They just buy it and then they're like, you didn't sell me this as described. Luckily, he's just said that one wasn't broken, wasn't like an item not described. And then the last one was a North Face vest. Sorry, from the 90s. And so first they sent me a message and they're like, hey, this doesn't fit. I need to return it. And it was like Sunday, so I didn't get to that message until I was going to message them back Monday morning. And I woke up Monday morning to another message. Hey, this wasn't as described, blah, 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 blah. Like it's more wear than it said and this, that, and the other. And you could see in the pictures the amount of wear that it has. And I just looked at the vest again. I'm like, yeah, it definitely is not like, it's good condition for the 90s. And so I could tell that they were just trying to get out of having to pay the return shipping fee. So like they returned it, I got it back. I was gonna take an amount off of it, like, but there was nothing to discount. Like it wasn't used or fucked up or anything. But I was waiting for them to like fuck something up. So I returned it, but I didn't return their shipping costs, which again, it's if you had returned it for item not described, and that was the reason that you initially gave was like, hey, this isn't in the condition I thought, then yeah, I would have worked with you. But when you initially like, hey, this doesn't fit, like, I kind of know what you're trying to do. And then you're trying to call, and then they were like, said all this shit like, oh, you're a deceptive seller. I have detailed photos that I submitted to eBay. Like you didn't even submit the photos through the return. You didn't even mention the issue in the return issue, like in the description of the issue for the return. They didn't even put that. So I'm assuming that I think they have to wait like 7 days and they can leave negative feedback. And I'm assuming that I'll get negative feedback for it. eBay might take it off though. I think they might take it off because it's like if they leave negative feedback for something that they didn't request in the return, I should be okay. But we'll see. Who knows? I doubt it's just crazy that people like you don't look at the picture, like 2 returns in a row. It's like, this doesn't look like how it looked. Like it's fucking there's pictures. I take time to do pictures and measurements and all that shit for a reason. Somebody messaged me like yesterday. They're like, hey, can you tell me the dimensions of this? And I look in the pictures and sure enough, there they are. And I don't like to put the dimensions because sometimes if you put the exact dimensions like in the title, like unless it's something that I see other people with in the title, then I won't put it. Like if it's something one off and it's like mine's the only one, I'm not going to put the dimensions in the title because then somebody could be like, oh, well, this isn't exactly, 30 feet by 20 feet. You know what I mean? They can, or 20 inches, whatever the size. They can be like, it's not exact, So I'll either put like it's approximately that. Like if I put that in the title, I'll say it's approximately, even if other people have it in the title, just to save myself. But it's like I can't even put like that stuff has wear and like used stuff. I have to put like exact descriptions apparently, even though it's got general wear. It's like that's in the description. Plenty of places, general wear. Like I selected the correct. In enclosed, you have to put like the correct category. You know what I mean? So I put good condition. It's definitely not in fair condition. Fair condition means there's rips, there's tears. This is no tears, no rips. They just are making up some bullshit so they didn't have to pay the shipping. So we'll see how far they want to take it, but I'm assuming I'm going to get a negative, and I don't even care anymore. It's like I'm wasting more time returning shit on eBay, and stuff is going for less and less. Like the stuff that people used to pay up for on eBay is going for less and less. Mind you, I don't have like anything that I'm used to selling, on a regular basis. I haven't really been out hunting for stuff. It's like there's a couple thrift stores in the area. They're church thrifts. You really got to get lucky. And I'm pretty sure there's another guy in the area that has like a deal with them. Because I always see him like walking out with stuff like that. He wasn't shopping. He just kind of like has a bag that they might have had for him in the back. So it's like, a lot of times it's a waste of time. Like, you can get lucky. But like, I went in there a couple weeks ago, I talked about that Abercrombie and Fitch jacket I bought. It's selling for like 200, 300 all day. I've got it down to like 150 now and nobody's buying it. I know it's like later in the season, but still, like, just shit just not selling like for the prices that they were going for. It's not been like crazy slow. Like, I'm still selling shit, you know what I mean? Even though I've not been really up on top of it. If I was on top of it, I'd be selling shit a lot more, I'm sure. But I always get into like issues like this with eBay. You know, you get a couple of returns and it's just annoying, especially because they don't have your back at all. Like, not at all. They don't consider the fact that you have 5,000 plus items sold with a small fraction of issues that, you can easily verify that the person's making shit up. Because I'm not like, I do this for a fucking living. I try to make sure my shit's as described. I try to make sure that I take plenty of pictures. It's for my protection. It's to make sure you know what you're getting. So, if I'm selling them that low, I guess my point is I might as well just sell them on fucking Whatnot, and then I can actually put transfer that from Whatnot into other things. You have an audience that comes to see you every week. We're so close to 1,000 followers. I might have got it today when I joined that raid train. Let me see where we're at. We're at like 997 yesterday. And now we are at, somehow still it says 997, but it usually takes like a day. For some reason, Whatnot's followers take like a day to show up. So it's very slow. It's a weird app. But I did get instant payout on Whatnot. Once you hit 1,000 sales, you get instant payout. So I don't have to wait to get paid out my fucking $10 that I make a show on Whatnot. Now, once we get some good inventory, we tried to sell my mom's stuff and it just wasn't. I have silver stuff that I'm sure will sell, but I don't even know what to do with silver right now. Like, I have a bag full of like a few pounds of silver. It was all my mom's jewelry and different shit, like Mexican silver and different stuff like that. And so like the last I heard was like silver took a big shit, so people are buying it up. But I'm like, do I just wait and sit on it, or I don't know what to do with my gold and silver right now. Do I wait a few months? Do I like sell it? So I got to do a little bit more research on that. So that's the thing. I have stuff to sell. It's just I don't know when the time to do it is. We did our first card show with some football cards, so that was fun. I got Pokemon cards that I want to do, so I'm sure that one will be good. So I think that'll be our next Wednesday show, and then I got to come up with some stuff for this bloody Valentine thing on Friday. But yeah, I'm buying my camera today. I've been talking to my buddy, figured out which camera I need, which accessories and shit I should get, and yeah, I'm going to have him help me get it all set up. And then from now on, once the camera comes in and everything, I figure it all out, then I should have video podcast. Because I was trying to do it on the phone and like it just kept cutting out. I don't know. And I would waste like an hour recording. I wouldn't waste it because I'd still get the audio and then I'd just release it. But it's like, if I'm going to shoot it, I want it to actually record. And so he told me which camera to get for podcasting, and I trust him, and I'm going to grab that shit, and hopefully he can help me get set up with it. I'm like, hey, dude, I just got the camera. Can you just come over and, like, teach me, like, 2 days worth of shit in 40 minutes? So, anyway, Super Bowl was on Sunday. My Patriots lost, unfortunately. I thought they could have won. They just made some mistakes. The coaching they never adjusted for anything. If you don't watch football, I'm sorry if this part bores you. I'll talk about the halftime in a minute. But yeah, I mean, it was a hard game, man. Seattle was a good team. But yeah, we could have definitely beat them. It's funny too, because I had Kenneth Walker all year in fantasy football. And I had to sit and watch fucking Zach Charbonnet vulture his touches and, essentially probably cost me the championship. And then I have to watch him go off and win MVP against my team and absolutely destroy it. And, yeah, It's crazy because everybody's talking about fucking Will Campbell, the left tackle from the Patriots, who struggled. And they're like, talking about him more than they're talking about Kenneth Walker, who won the MVP. It's fucking crazy. And a running back hasn't won in a while. So, like, that's crazy, But yeah, I thought we were gonna win, man. I thought even towards the end, but then once he threw that last pick six, I was like, man, that might be it. And sure enough, yeah, it kind of sealed the game. But the halftime show. So I didn't actually get to watch the halftime show because it was right, like, the game started at 6:30, and my dumbass, I was like getting ready for 3:30. Like, I turned the TV on. My wife's like, oh, you're going to put something on for the kids to chill for a little bit. They haven't watched TV yet, and we're going to be, hogging the TV later. I was like, well, the game's starting right now. She's like, no, it starts at 6:30. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. I'm so, like, I missed the 3:30 on the West Coast. Kickoff time for Super Bowl was the best. And so, yeah, I was like ready 3 hours early. So anyway, the game started at 6:30, in case you didn't know. And so halftime was like, after our kids' bedtime. So, we went up to take them up for bed and bath time, like right at halftime. So we didn't miss any of the game. So when I came back, the thing was like the halftime show had pretty much ended. I saw like a little bit of the beginning. So then I was like, all right, well, everybody's talking about it. People had one opinion or the other. And then they were talking about like the Kid Rock one, which there's no way I was going to watch that one. So I put it on. I was like, oh shit, let me put it on. And I'm Spanish. I'm Puerto Rican. But I'm not a great Puerto Rican. Like, I don't speak Spanish. I speak a very small amount of Spanish just from working in restaurants in California. And so I was like, oh, let me put this on. Like, I don't think I actually know any Bad Bunny songs. And so as I'm watching it, I'm like, it's cool. It's got like cool visuals. Not like cool visuals. It was like, just like Puerto Rican culture shit. There was a lot of like, he basically took like the Marvel approach to his like to his performance with like just fan service and like thrown it, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a lot of like, from what I could see online, I didn't get a lot of the things, but just from the memes and shit, that's what it seemed like. It just seemed like he, fit a bunch of like fan service into his performance. But what the whole time I was watching it, I was trying to figure out, like, is this guy a singer? Did it, like, are his songs, does he sing on his songs? Oh, fuck. I hope that doesn't get picked up on this. My fucking water thing has been like, that's another thing that we need to get fixed. Hold on. Let me pause this because I don't want this to be all up. Pretty sure you're going to be able to hear it. So let me pause this, fix that, and then I'll come right back and talk about the halftime show. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's one of the problems we're having in the house, is that's got to get fixed. So yeah, Bad Bunny Super Bowl. So yeah, the whole time I was watching it, I just kept like, and maybe this makes me sound like a fucking old guy, but I just was thinking, like, I don't know if this guy's a singer or like a rapper or, or maybe he's the DJ. Like, if he was the DJ and like he did all the beats and all that stuff, then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I just didn't understand what he was doing. And, you don't have to speak Spanish to understand like what is happening in a performance. But I just kept waiting for him to sing or rap or any of those things. And it just kind of seemed like he was talking loudly. And, he kept talking to the camera. And then at one point he talked so quiet that they like couldn't even pick it up on the mic. He was talking like directly into the camera. Now, I haven't watched a translated version. But that wasn't like, I didn't even have an issue with that. Like, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't mind a performance in Spanish. Like, it's a cool take. I like that type of music, but just that the whole time I just like was thinking, and he wasn't even like great at performing. Like, he didn't dance. He just kind of stood there walking from like spot to spot. Now, again, I get that he put like a lot of fan service and, you know, Viva la Resistance and all that bullshit. But the actual performance was just, you know, he had some cameos. People were like, oh, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is terrifying. I'm sorry, dude. I know I've talked about her pharmaceutical commercial before, but like she's got like bleach blonde eyebrows now, and it's a scary look. I've never I like Lady Gaga's old music, but now she's just kind of insufferable. So like, you know, and then like they had Pedro Pascal dancing and like Jessica, and it's like, all right, he had all these people in there, cool, but still, like, even when he was like performing, I just was waiting for like him to, he like kind of sang one part real quick, but like I get, maybe I just am too old. And again, I like that style of music. Like I like reggaeton, I like all that shit. I just was very confused with like people trying to be like, this was the best. And it was the same thing like with Kendrick last year. I loved the Kendrick performance. I thought that performance was awesome. But people were like, you know, obviously divided about that one. But like, you know, saying that this was the greatest Super Bowl performance of all time is a bit of a stretch. And you know, everybody's got to fucking have some type of message, you know. And I get it. It's like it's the biggest stage, so you want to like, you know, you should protest where you can and all that stuff. But it's like, who's paying for this shit? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I always wonder. Who's paying for people to do, you know, because it's just another topic. It's not like it can't just be somebody that everybody's just like, oh yeah, we all fuck with this person. You know what I mean? There's people that you can pick that everybody universally would be like, oh, that's fucking dope. But yeah, but Bad Bunny, it was, and again, I like him as an actor. And I guess I just don't know his music to know like whether he sings or not, but like the performance that he did, he wasn't singing or rapping or anything. I watched it again. Like I made sure to sit down and watch it just so I could make sure that I like knew what people were talking about. And, yeah. Again, I don't mind if it was in Spanish. You could do it all fucking in Korean. You could have had K-pop come out and do the entire thing in Korean. I would have been like, oh, that's fucking awesome. But yeah, I just didn't think it was a great performance. I'm sure it had a lot of important imagery and all that stuff. But as far as like a Super Bowl performance, can we just get back to like fun? You know what I mean? Not everything has to be something that, you know, the reason they do that shit too is because it's going to get people talking. I get it. I'm not an idiot. I take marketing classes, but it's, you know, it's getting a little old. Getting a little old at this point. And again, I wanted to like the performance. I liked the music. Yeah, I was just very confused about, I guess I need to figure out what Bad Bunny does. Yeah, loved him in the movies I've watched. You know, I was curious to see what he was all about, and I guess I'm just more confused than I was. Anyway, I'll move on from that because I mostly don't know what I'm talking about. I posted an ad in the paper last week, and I think it ran this week too. And I've gotten one response, and it's a lady who's got Beanie Babies. And she's like, do you sell them for other people? I'm like, no. I wouldn't sell anything for other people. One, because I'm like, I told her, like, I explained nicely, but I'm like, you know, I have a business. So for tax purposes, it's kind of makes things complicated. And then so she's like, and I told her, like, you know, which is true. I sell them for, like, if I was to sell them, and I would never even consider them, except I know that they sell on Whatnot. But they sell, like, you know, I would sell like 4 of them in a bundle for like $2 to $3. You know what I mean? So I'm selling them for a couple, you know, 50 to 75 cents a piece, if that. So I told her, you know, straight up that that's what I pay. And then she's like, all right, I might send you a list for you to review. I'm like, all right, you know, I might buy the whole bundle, but like I'll probably pay like 4 for a dollar. You know what I mean? That would be what my price would probably be. And people don't like that. They think that they're going to get top dollar. And I always put in the thing, I'm selling them myself. So it's it's like, but yeah, some of the ones on eBay, and I don't even know if they still show as being like crazy prices, but for some reason they show up on eBay as being ridiculously high priced, and people think that they're worth that, and they're not at all. It's like everybody has these things, you know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe someday they'll go back up, but I just doubt it. I really do. I doubt it. Let's see what else. I went to a non-existent estate sale Saturday. Double checked before I left. Still showed the same day. There was snow, so I didn't know. Drove there. Wasn't too far, luckily. Nobody, no signs of life. So I was like, all right, I don't know if I want to wait around. So I didn't wait around, thankfully. And then I checked like a little while later, and they had changed the date to this weekend of the sale. So that was fun. There's a sale this Saturday that I want to go to, but you got to get there early to sign up. But usually it's like 6 a.m. sign up. They said they're putting the sign out at 9, so I might be able to get there at like 8 and wait. But I don't know how many people are going to get there at 8. So, but yeah, I'll have my kids. So that's usually my mom would take the kids for stuff like this. I could just run to this estate sale for a few hours, but now I got to bring the kids. So if it was at 6, there's no way I'd be able to do it. But luckily the sign up's at 9. So I think I should be able to make it there. Get the kids out early, go sign up, and then go get some brekkie. We get some breakfast. Yeah, I want to have my fucking estate sale for my mom's stuff like in person, but this goddamn snow just keeps falling. Got more snow. Not too much more, but it's like 40 degrees today. I doubt any of it's going to melt. It might melt a little bit of it, but we'll see. Who knows? What else? Don't you guys miss, like, yard sale season? So much more exciting. I do so much more. Plus it's summer. I got so much more going on. I did buy another Drake May rookie card on Whatnot on Sunday, and of course they lost. So that thing, his value has not gone up. That's pretty fucking fun. Oh, I did want to talk about Super Bowl commercials because I had to do like a project for my school watching Super Bowl commercials, and it's like mostly AI. All of the commercials are for like AI, pharmaceuticals. Like I was waiting for fun ads, and they were all just like either AI generated slop or like about AI. It was fucking horrible to watch. Oh man. That's what people should be mad about. Not the fucking halftime show. Be mad about the fact that you had to watch a bunch of fucking bullshit corporate sponsored commercials that were like about basically the end of humanity as we know it. There's like one commercial about like the weight loss shit, and I'm like, dude, these commercials should be like. And then they start going through the side effects. Man, I know I've talked about this. It's like beating a fucking dead horse on this show, but oh my god, that's what people should be annoyed about. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Let's see. I don't really have a ton of things to talk about. How much time are we at? Not 35 minutes. Let's see. It might have to be a short one. I'm trying to think. Got some friends coming into town. So we probably do that. We do like the drunk episode every once in a while with my friend Jacob. So we'll probably do that one again. So that'll be fun. That'll be coming up. That'll be on the road to 100. Ooh, that's awesome. We'll get one more of those in before we get to the 100th episode. And yeah, the 100th episode, I'm trying to think of something to do for a giveaway, but I'm so bad at like reaching out to other people to team up with. But I need to do that. I think I'm going to do that later today. Spend some time networking. Yeah. I think that's going to be it for today. They're going to be shorter episodes until we get back into the swing of things. That way I don't have to miss out on episodes, and I don't feel like I'm just fucking filling nonsense for like an hour. Getting into fucking politics, it's just going to be no good for anybody because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about most of the time. I don't have time for that shit. If you like the show, even though it's shorter episodes right now, they're usually about an hour. But, again, it's that time of the year. I'm going to be completely like pulling everything out of my area and reorganizing. I'm pumped about that. So I'm going to do some before and after pictures because it's a mess right now. It's that time of the year where I just dump shit in there. We got people coming, to stay with us. I just take it out of where it is and just dump it in there. And like, so, I've got a couple big things that I need to move out of there. I still have that giant Mickey that has not sold. I'm really annoyed about that. So, took a swing on that one. I got it for like $10. So we'll see. I have it listed, on Marketplace too, but so we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that person that's mad at me, who's threatening me on eBay yet again. So I'll keep you posted on that, and make sure you hit the notification so you know when the show comes out. And yeah, we go live on Whatnot Now every Thursday. So every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and then we have a Raid Train Friday. So make sure you follow us and bookmark all our shows. It helps us out. And yeah, I'll be back to check in with you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.